Hey guys, what's up? I just got this little guy. His name is Ferrari from PetSmart exactly 18 days ago. It was Wednesday, June 25th. I bought a 40, I think it's a 40 or 45 gallon tank. It's very wide, not that tall. I will buy larger from it'll probably be 120 plus gallons, but he's only around 2 months old, so this is fine for him. I have the correct substrate. As you can see, it's not very flaky. And there's not anything that would cause impactions or get in his eyes. It's very thick pieces of substrate. The temps seem fine. They're about 80 degrees during the day. I don't know if you can see that, but I have two thermometers and a hydrometer. But it's about 80 degrees during the day. Basking point is around, I'm going to say 92, 93. It's his basking branch and his light, which is 100 watts. The humidity is good. I try to keep it at a constant 80%. Which it's just about out right now. It's probably about 78 right now. I missed him and his tank throughout the day, every so often. As you can see, it's nice and damp in here, not too wet. I let him out for about a half hour to an hour a day, highly supervised, and I have all the needed UVB, UVA bulbs. I also have a night bulb under here that I change on the night, which I usually don't need because his temps are actually perfect at night without any type of light. I have a pool of water right here. I change and clean that every day. I also use a small bubbler system. As you can see right here, it runs through. I try to keep it hidden, but it comes out right here through the mesh, and it sits up here. And that's just to move his water around, just to let him know that it's there, because sometimes if it's still water, they don't realize that the water's there. So, and that also regulates his temperature. It keeps a constant temperature. It'll also filter the water around and keep it moving. He has plenty of branches and leaves to climb around in. As you can see, I'll show you what I got going on. I have this ficus, goes right there over his basking spot. I got all of this. It goes all the way around the top, which he climbs, and this goes down into his little hut. And then I have another branch that goes from the ground, and it goes around, which he likes this one the best. He always seems to be climbing on this. Goes down and around all the way, and there's his food bowl. He seems really content, actually, and a lot happier with what he has now than what he did have at PetSmart. Believe me, they were in a very small, I'm going to say, I don't even think it was a foot wide. So I'm sure he was uncomfortable in that thing. He's active and very friendly, as you can see. I mean, he's moving around. I did give him about 3 or 4 days before actually bothering him or touching him, just to let him settle in. The only thing is, which is the reason I'm posting the video, he's not eating. Or at least not eating well. I believe the last time that he ate was probably it was the Friday, the same week I got him, that Friday, so it was June 27th on a Friday. He ate a cricket, I think. What happened was the cricket that I got, it was a large cricket. It was one of those larger crickets. It got in his water and it actually drowned. The reason I didn't get it out of his water is because sometimes it sparks their appetite when they see stuff struggling in the water, but he didn't seem to go after it. So I took it out of the water with tweezers, and I just placed it. It was belly up in his food bowl, and he went down to it and started eating. That's good. And then a couple days after that, he ate about 4 mealworms in his food bowl. As soon as I dropped him down in there, he went after him. But they weren't calcium dusted. Since then, he hasn't been eating anything. He drinks water and defecates at least every other day, if not every day. Actually, I think there's poop in his water now, which I'm going to have to clean out later today. And I always see it around the leaves and stuff, so it's not that he has an impaction, because he clearly, his digestive tract is moving. He tries to go after the small minnows. That's why we bought one once, and he tried to go after it, but he couldn't get it. So we have I think there's about 8 in there. Let me open this up so you guys can actually get a better view without the mesh. There's about 8 in there now. And they're alive and well, very active. They're just kind of all huddled together now. But he looks at these, he seems like he's interested, but he doesn't ever go after them. But the one time we put one in there, he tried to go after it, but he couldn't seem to catch it. He'd lunge at it, but he would never be able to get it in his mouth, because these are really fast. So I decided if you put a lot, you have a better chance of getting them. But he doesn't try to strike after these ones yet. He'll try to snatch up insects that he sees flying around, or even or even if he sees like some sort of ant on the wall or something outside of his glass or on his glass or insect, he'll look at that and he'll try to snatch at it, like he's really hungry, but of course he can't get those. As you can see, he's looking at that bug right now that's on the wall, and he'll try to go after it, but he never tries to go after the food that's right there. I usually don't leave that there either. That's the calcium dusted mealworms and waxworms. There's about 9 in there. I usually drop him down in his food bowl or wiggle him in front of his face and try to get him to eat it. When he's at my desk on the computer screen, he'll actually try to go after the computer mouse that's moving, the cursor on the screen. He'll try to lunge at that. He'll put his tongue out and try to snatch that up. So he seems like he's very hungry, but he's just not eating anything that I supply him. He just looks at it for a couple of seconds. Sometimes he looks very interested, his pupils will dilate, but then he just ignores it and he goes along his way. I've tried mealworms, waxworms, crickets, minnows, calcium dusting them, not calcium dusting them, food bowl, out of food bowl, right next to them, just leaving them in the tank, not touching them, like using tweezers, touching them, but he doesn't seem to want them. I actually just bought smaller crickets today that I'm going to try to feed him in a little bit. Hopefully he'll try to go after the smaller crickets, because maybe the larger ones were too big. See, he looks at them and he knows they're there. He looks interested, like he wants to go after them, but he won't. It's weird. I've heard that sometimes you'll need to force feed them after they get kind of nervous after the move in, but he seems very comfortable and he trusts me a lot, as I'm right next to him with the camera. He doesn't really care. So hopefully you guys can give me advice on that. Thank you. I will post an update video if something occurs or if he gets better. See ya.